Greetings! We have so many cozy crafts to do today, and I'm so excited, so we're gonna go ahead and hop right in. So, on the docket for this video, we have two central crafts, one of which is a commission from like my closest friend from college, and then the other one is for me, because I feel like I don't do a whole lot of crafts for like just for myself, you know. So I want to do one for me, you know, a little bit of treat yourself type action. The commission from my friend is for her grandmother's birthday. She asked me to paint her grandmother's house, and I'm so excited. I haven't actually done a painting in so long because the last one I did burned me out, and I have a bad habit of doing that. So hopefully this one does not do that as well, but we'll see. And then the second one for myself is a teacup, I guess like sun catcher, wind chime type thing, but it's like ivy pulling out the side. I saw a video of it on Instagram, and I'll put that up here somewhere, and I immediately had to make it. That got thrown right on the list of things that I needed to make a video on. So I went out shopping today, and I got 2 teacups, like perfect for this project, I feel like. And I also went to a crafting thrift store, I guess is what it's called. It's a scrap exchange, and found a bunch of different beads here. I love this store so much. People turn in all sorts of crafting materials that they don't use anymore, or from relatives that have maybe passed away or things like that. So it is like literally just a little bit of everything. Like they have like sections of like old dye, like clothing dye. They have sections of like Legos. They have sections of Play-Doh, you know, like it's like literally everything, including like hardwares, you know, the full 9 yards of just like stuff that no one wants, but some crafter might. So they threw it all into this one place. So I went and dug through the bead bins for a while, found a bunch of beads, not a whole lot. There was another girl there who was only looking for green beads, and she got there before I did, so she took a lot of them, but it is what it is. But I got enough to have some variety. I also got some, you know, just beads from Michael's, just as filler. But I think for that project, I'm gonna get a little bit creative. Might learn some macrame so that I can hang it up. But I don't know. We'll see how feisty we're feeling when we get there. For now, we're working on this bad boy today. Yay! Because that deadline is coming up soon. So I'd rather just get that done first so that it's done. So let's have a nice chill afternoon, make a cup of tea, and paint. Good morning. Oh, I guess it's technically afternoon at this point. But this morning I went out and I had to run a few errands, and while I was out, I managed to find the perfect little mugs for the mug thing that I was doing, the like mug hanging plant type thing. Like, are these not the perfect little mug for something like that? Like, you can just see it like hanging down. I think I'm gonna try and find a saucer for it so then I can do like a further like sun catcher, wind chimey thing like hanging around the bottom. But for now, these are perfect. I'm gonna keep one of them for my personal tea collection. But these are so perfect. I'm so excited to have them. But we're not working on that today. We're working on the painting. I am so excited to just sit down for the rest of the afternoon and just start painting. Just chill out, paint, and relax. You know, have a nice cup of tea, have some chamomile tea, if anyone's interested. But aside from that, no big updates. Might have to cut the painting a bit early because I have to go play Magic the Gathering tonight. But that's it. I'll see ya. It's been a few days since I worked on the painting. I've been really busy with work recently. I've just had a lot of stuff going on that has prevented me from working on the painting in the morning before I leave for work. So, this is my first day off in a while, and it happens to be gorgina outside. So I think I'm gonna go paint outside while the loaf of bread bakes. And maybe, if we're feeling up to it later tonight, I might go find some flowers, like some daffodils or something to go pick, to, liven up the space a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see if I end up making it out there. I need to interrupt this video with incredible crafting news. I just got back from breakfast with my partner's great aunt. And she just found out that I'm a crafter. And was like, oh, by the way, my mom was a crafter too. Would you like all of her stuff? And I'm like, yeah. She said, I think I have some cross-stitching match. I think I have a bolt of that. And some embroidery floss. I was like, that sounds great. I'll take whatever I can get. Y'all, hold on. Let me show you the pile that I just got. So first we'll look in here. We open this up. It is just all individually labeled embroidery flosses on both sides. And she even left me a key with all of this stuff in there. Like, this is this is incredible. And then in this box, there's a blanket cloth, more cross-stitching whatnots, 2 massive folders of craft patterns that I can only assume are from like 70s and forward. And then just a bunch of, you know, picture frames and whatnots in here. Inside of these boxes, as I said, it's just a bunch of, you know, trims and whatnot. And she just, like, these cute little things, some elastic, eye closures, and then just a bunch of lace. And then in the one underneath of this one, it's just more of the same. We have some appliques, mendings, some boning, some tulle, interfacing, and then just more trimmings. And then this box is just the most incredible thing ever. I felt absolutely horrible about taking this box. It is just full of her mother's cross-stitching. These cute little baby ones here. Oh, come here. This one, and then here's where we start to get with some real talent. There's this one, this one, and then it just keeps going. There's this bell ringer here of just all of these memorials. And then this was a series that she did of just these blue circles filled with stuff. Like, this is incredible. 3 of the exact same pieces. And I would say the most impressive part is the back. Like, it is just some of the cleanest works I have ever seen. Like, this is incredible. Like, that's unreal. But yeah, that was my haul. I cannot believe that she let me just have all of this. I have never been more excited to cross stitch. I can't lie. But for now, I have to finish this painting because it's one craft at a time for me. So I guess we'll get back to painting. It's an elderberry detox tea, if you're curious. I always have to have a drink when I paint. It's essential. Okay, so I've hit the point where I'm adding the last thing to the painting itself. Sorry, I probably booped you there with my hair. I need to add the cardinal, and I'm trying to decide if I want it to be perched on the roof or if I want it to be flying. And I can't quite decide, but here, I'll show you. So I was either thinking could be perched like along here or flying a bit closer to the foreground, like probably over here somewhere, but I suppose you'll see what I decide at the end. Good morning. This is officially, oh God, the day after I have finished the painting. So today, I'm hoping to have a very eventful day of watching The Lord of the Rings.
This is it. This is what? If I take one more step, it'll be the farthest away from home I've ever been.
And making that wind chime, or I guess sun catcher would be the most appropriate term. But for the last couple of mornings, ever since I got all of the stuff from my partner's great-grandma, I have been attempting to organize it, including all of this embroidery floss, which I am combining her collection and mine, which entails me just winding up all of my embroidery floss onto these little doohickeys that she provided me so that we can all be stored in this case here. And while I'm doing this, I've just been having a bunch of thoughts of like carrying on like the legacy of people through the items that they cherished. Because his great aunt said that she would just cross stitch all day, every day, and that was her thing. So I can only imagine how much she cherished doing these things and how much of an honor it is to be able to have her stuff and, you know, keep that legacy going a little bit, because if I didn't take it, it was going to go to our local craft consignment store, which would have been great as well, and I'm sure someone would have picked it up, or me, without knowing that it was hers, because I frequent there all the time. But it's just a very humbling experience because I'm the only person in my family that, you know, crafts, and both of my grandmothers were artists, even sewists, just that type of thing, and none of their children picked that up or continued that, but I did, and I inherited all of their craft supplies too. And a lot of the stuff that you've seen in my videos has actually been like their stuff. And it's always it's a privilege to be able to have that stuff and to be able to make something with it decades after these people have passed on. And it's just very humbling, and I get a little emotional thinking about it, but there's nothing to be emotional about. Crafting is just, it surpasses all the generations and can connect you to people you've never even met before. But yeah, I'll finish winding these up and then get started on my sun catcher. So, it's time to start the sun catcher. And I think, as I said earlier, this is going to be my plans for the day. So, plan for the sun catcher. This lighting is terrible. Why did I think backlighting would work? Here we go. Right. So, plans for the sun catcher. I'm going to make a shit ton of beaded strands to kind of be, I think I'm going to try and make it look like a mother of pearl, where it's like, you know, like beading down a little bit. But I think on top, unlike the mother of pearl, I want it to be like a bit fluffier. So I think I'm going to make a bunch of strands of, you know, green beads that will be draping down. And then I think on top, I'm going to try and bead some flowers and some more leafier type motif things to go up there so it's like a bit fluffier. So it looks like, you know, a ball of plants with like ivy hanging down, I guess. And then I think I'm going to attach something. Here, hold on. This is the mug that I'm going to be using. So here, we'll get the full visual. Plants and ivy hanging down. And I think I want to try and attach something to the bottom here, like a disc, so that I can poke holes in it and then make like a longer sun catcher like coming out of the bottom, almost like a jellyfish type thing. We'll see if that's too much after I finish the actual plant part. But I'm gonna sit my ass on the couch, watch Lord of the Rings.
That still only counts as one!
And bead all day. It's gonna be so fun. I love my days off. So while all that glue was drying, here she is, I went ahead and made a couple of like little beaded flower things just to sit on top, so it's not like, you know, like plant and then beads, like the beads don't come out of nowhere. There's a little bit of something indicating of the beads, I guess. I did make a really big one, and then I walked over and was like, probably not gonna work, but I'll hold on to it for something, I guess. But now that the glue is dry on that, I can officially start attaching the, you know, the sun catcher part. And how I'm gonna do that is I have a little bit of wire on the top there. Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows? Only
Donald J. Trump is now President of the United States. President Obama is the ex-president.
Okay. Okay, we're back. That was dumb. Don't do that. Don't do that, actually. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap, I have a sewing pen, and I'm gonna wrap the wire around the sewing pin to anchor it onto the pin like that. And then all you do is you just stick it into the side. And then it's on there. I might put a little glue on the ends of the pins so that they actually stay put. But yeah, I'm just gonna do that until pretty much this whole circumference is full. So now that this part is finished, now that the like plant part, I guess, is finished, I'm gonna work on, I'm gonna call it the jellyfish part because that's the only thing that I could think of that it looks like to me. So I went ahead and bought some foam core board that I'm gonna cut out a circle and glue it onto the bottom of the mug here. And then I'm going to take beaded strands that are going to be varying in length, an equal variation of length, and kind of spiral them down so it looks like a jellyfish, you know? So the short will start like up here, and then it'll get gradually longer as it spirals down. So it looks like kind of a jellyfish. And I want it to be yellow because the mug is yellow. So I want the green beads to go with the green that's on top. As you can see, also I added some like beaded flowers and stuff. But since the beads are coming out of the yellow mug, I want the beads to be yellow. Also, I think that'd be pretty just in the sun. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that part. Good morning. Excuse how I look. I literally just rolled out of bed like 5 minutes ago. But I wanted to get started on crafting early because I have to go to work tonight. So I'm starting work on the jellyfish base part, and I cut this out of my foam board. This is the diameter of the base of the mug. So I'm gonna start short in the middle here and then spiral out long. So I need to know where it's gonna intersect the mug so I don't put stuff there. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, first of all, color this just with alcohol markers. I did some test here and it dries beautifully. It's a little streaky, but honestly, I don't really care. This is my little craft and I'm not gonna be super worried about that. But I'm gonna do that, and then I think I'm going to attempt to thread the lines of beads through the board up to the top here and then just like knot it off. But I think that that's all.
fighting for? Ah!